Well, good evening. It's currently 8:15 on Tuesday, and I'm on my way back from Swansea. But I've had a comment asking me to do a comparison video between the Luton and the old long wheelbase Crafter, and let's just go over some differences. So let's start off with our biggest cost as a courier. Yep, fuel. Well, the long wheelbase, back when I had it, used to average between 34 and 42 mpg, obviously depending on if it was loaded, how I was driving, etc. But on a flat out week, I used to average around £500 in diesel, so quite a hefty amount. But the Luton averages between 22 and 30 mpg, so quite a considerable drop there. And if I'm flat out doing Luton work, it's around £700 for the week for fuel. The second biggest cost for any courier company is insurance. And the difference between the vans, well, there wasn't any. When I switched over, they said, oh yeah, it's under the same price bracket, it's just a 50 quid fee for changing your vehicle. Well, then when it came to renewing, my insurance absolutely shot through the roof. And they claimed it wasn't because it's a vehicle change, it isn't because it's a Luton tail lift. They just claimed it was because of insurance premium tax going through the roof. So my insurance rose from £2,400 a year to, oh God, it's hard to say, £3,800 a year.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
That is a whopping increase. But like, apparently, from what my broker said, that isn't because of the vehicle size change or anything like that. I also, that is including ADR insurance now, which I didn't have previously, but they didn't actually charge me any extra for that. They just said, yeah, we'll add it onto the policy. And then they sent me a new policy. They didn't charge me a single penny for any of that, which was absolutely brilliant. I was dead happy with that. So yeah, that's insurance. The difference in the year that I had them both in the same policy, there was no difference. This year it's gone up by £1,400. Drivability. Now, if you've ever driven a Crafter, you'll know that it's one of the most comfortable vans on the market to drive. The seat is nice and wide, it's really comfy, and got a great seating position. The steering wheel's nice. It's just a lovely place to be. And it was on the long wheelbase and on this. There's a few less creature comforts in this. I don't have cruise control, and I don't have my big screen with my sat nav and my DAB. I've just got a standard radio and no controls on the steering wheel. Also, the seat isn't height adjustable, which I don't like. I prefer being sat a bit lower and a bit further back, but never mind. But where things are different, the Luton is wider. The Crafter, the long wheelbase, I think was around 6 foot wide. I want to say probably a little bit less. This is, the box on the back is just shy of 2.2 meters wide externally. The wing mirrors are even wider because I've got extended wing mirrors, so I can see actually to the back of the van. So when I come to width restrictions, anything less than 7 foot wide, I can't really get through. 6 foot 6, some of them I can squeeze through as long as the wing mirrors go over the bollards. Other than that, I can't get through anything tighter than that. But you can used to be able to get through a 6 foot width restriction in the long wheelbase. So it's wider. It's also longer because there's a gap between the bulkhead and where the box starts, which is about this big, and then there's a 4.2 metre box, and then there's a tail lift. So it's probably coming up to half a metre longer, if I think about it properly. So it's wider, it's longer, and let's not forget that it's also a lot taller. So obviously the standard Luton, standard long wheelbases, you get 1.8 in the back. They're not that high off the ground. They're probably like 2.5 meters tall maximum. This is 3.3 meters tall. So obviously, if you think about it, the body starts above the wheels on a separate chassis that's above that, and then there's a 2.2 meter box on top of that. It's tall. It's a tall van, which also brings the centre of gravity up quite significantly, so it follows quite a bit more, which isn't brilliant when it's windy or you're on windy roads. If you're on straight motorways, it's not windy, or if you're fully loaded, you're fine. It drives exactly the same as the long wheelbase, but the long wheelbase drives a lot better on windy roads than this does. This, you feel it. You really feel it. I've been doing quite a few jobs in Swansea recently, and them windy, tight roads, you're going round, you're like, it's yeah, a bit sketch, but hey ho, that's just because it's a Luton. So yeah, all around drivability, this is bigger in every dimension, harder to park, it's a bit sloppier on the road, and yeah, I honestly, in all honesty, I'd much rather be driving the long wheelbase again, but this is better for the company. Maintenance. Well, they're both crafters. They both require the same service intervals, so there's no difference there. I did get warned when I got a Luton off a couple of lads and all the run Lutons that I'll probably go through brakes and tyres more often. I haven't found that to be the case. A lad I know who runs 3 Lutons, all Renaults, said that he was going through brakes every 45,000 miles and he needed to replace the brake pads. I've now done 48,000 miles in this. It's just been MOT'd. The brake pads are all absolutely fine. I've nothing wrong with them. Still got plenty of meat on them, plenty of life. The front tyres I had put on pretty much when I got the van, so they've done around 45,000 miles. They have absolutely loads of life left in them, probably at least another 45,000 miles left in them, so no issue. Rear tyres were brand new on the van when I got it, but they are budget tyres. They're wearing away slightly, and I will replace them at some point, but they've still got plenty of life in them. I want to have all 4 tyres matching eventually when I get around to it. So in the actual terms of the van, there's no difference. There's one difference. I've got a tail lift, and you've got to get a LOLA certificate every 6 months for the tail lift. So it needs inspecting and servicing every 6 months, which is the only additional cost. Everything else is exactly the same because it's exactly the same van. This has a slightly higher horsepower engine than the old one. The old one was a lot more reliable than this one, so maybe I should get the underpowered engine again. But yeah, maintenance costs the same. Right, load capacity, the room behind me. Well, obviously, it's much larger on the Luton. I've got 2.2 metres in height, 2 metres in width, 4.2 metres in length. Whereas on the Crafter, the long wheelbase, I had 4 metres in length, 1.8 high, and 1.8 wide. 1.8 wide? I can't remember. Anyway, it's significantly smaller area. But the long wheelbase can obviously carry more weight because it doesn't weigh as much as they say when it's empty. So the long wheelbase can carry 1,100 kilos, whereas this, the max loader can carry is 850 kilos if I'm on a diet. When I got it weighed, I had a passenger and we could carry 800 kilos, so minus the passenger who was more than 50 kilos obviously, but minus his weight puts on about 900, but I don't want to push it that much because I've got other stuff in there now, like the ADR kit, the fridge and other stuff. So 850 maximum, I try and stay around the 800 mark, no more than that really. So I can carry significantly less weight, but more volume, which is good because some of the kit is just getting bigger but not heavier that I move. but also not good because sometimes there is bigger loads and I have to subby them out. Whereas previously it used to be I had to subby all the Luton work out, which obviously is the better paying work. Now I'm getting the better paying work, subbying the cheaper work out, which is good. That's what we want. So last but not least, money. Is there a bigger income with the Luton than the long wheelbase? Well, the answer to that is yes. Because I charge more for the Luton, and I'm doing the majority of the Luton work myself when I can, and therefore more income is coming to me. The long wheelbase jobs, if I'm doing them, I still only charge long wheelbase rates because I don't want to rip my customers off. I want them to be happy. But I'd rather do the work because then the money comes to me and I know it's all being done 100%. So it's not a massive increase, but it's enough to cover the increase in fuel and the increase in maintenance costs and to still have a profit on top. Yeah, there is a bigger income with running the Luton. There's also more costs going out, but they do balance out and there is still a bigger profit on top running the Luton, which is absolutely fantastic. Obviously now, well, in the past, in the long wheelbase, I would have done medium jobs as well, medium wheelbase jobs for my customers, but now I tend to sub most of them out because financially it's not really worth me running the Luton with the extra fuel costs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's still better to be in the Luton financially. But like I said previously, if I had my choice, I would definitely rather drive a long wheelbase again because it's just the worry of the height, the wallowiness of the van. They're a lot more planted and I just prefer driving it. I also prefer having my creature comforts with my screen and my cruise control and stuff, but if I do buy another van this year, like I do hope to, it will have, number one, it will have air conditioning, because I say that and I've never had it. I've never had air conditioning in a van since I've been doing this, and I started in a van when I was 17, 18, did it on and off for a few years, and then full time from like 21, and I'm now 33. So I've been doing this a long time, and I've never had aircon in a van. I've always just sweat. But it's pretty grim. So yeah, aircon, and it'll probably be a long wheelbase again. Or even a medium wheelbase and tow a trailer like I keep saying I want to do. But hey, I've got to be patient. I've got to build the company at a reasonable pace. I can't keep just jumping in and doing things because that's where mistakes happen. So just a little final rundown of everything. The Luton costs more to run on fuel. The insurance has gone up, but that's just because of insurance premium tax apparently. It costs slightly more on maintenance because it's got a tail lift. It has a bigger income, which does cover all the extra costs, as long as I'm running it mainly as a Luton and long wheelbase rates and nothing smaller. And I would much rather drive a long wheelbase because this is a bit wallowy and a bit harder to park and stuff like that. But it was definitely the right choice for the company. Maybe not this van per se, because this van has been an absolute nightmare, but Luton has been and will be the best choice for the company. This van actually goes in on Monday. So I've just got it booked in to get everything sorted, get it fully up and running and working properly, because I'm still having link mode issues. I had a coolant leak on Monday, which was fixed, but I've still got an airlock in my coolant system, which is a bit of a pain. Every now and then I've got to stop and undo the reservoir to let it refill. It's just a bit of a ball ache. But I've got it booked in on Monday. I don't know how long it's going to be in the garage because it needs quite a bit doing to it. And I have absolutely no idea how much it's going to cost, but fingers crossed. Not too much, and we can just have a fully running, working van that's not going to let me down. Because that's what I need, with the amount of miles I do. Thank you for watching. Please go like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye bye.